Hey. Hi. Hello there, friend. Hello there, friend. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. So if you can believe it, Monday, April the 1st marks 6 months since we packed up our whole family and everything that we own, flew across an ocean and moved to the United Kingdom from America. It's so crazy to think that it has been that long. It's just madness. And I thought to mark the 6-month anniversary of me living here that I would do a little whisper ramble to talk about the things that I have found that are different from America to the United Kingdom. Now I know that many people already know there's a ton of differences, but there's some stuff that I found that I never knew before moving here that I thought I'd just share with you. And hopefully this video has some nice clicky close-up whispers to also help you relax, unwind, and just potentially even sleep. Nonetheless, I hope that you enjoy hearing these little differences and some big. If by the end of the video there's some that you can think of that I may have not mentioned, definitely leave them in the comments below. It's so much fun to kind of see how different the countries and the cultures are. It's just madness. I always thought we were very, very similar countries apart from like our accents, but it's definitely not the case. Every day I find something that's different or new, and I'm always looking at my husband like, what is this? Or like, this is great. Why do we not have this in America? So anyway, when we first got here, I think one of the first things we did was run off to the grocery store. Obviously, we needed to get food and like the regular hygienic stuff, toilet paper, paper towels, and which, by the way, I don't think, like, we call things different names than what they are here. Like, for example, like, it's not paper towels here, it's something else. Like, I'm trying to think, some things do slip my mind, and my husband will kind of almost conform to how I say things, like toilet roll instead of toilet paper, or it's just little things like that. Or like pudding is a perfect example. If they talk about pudding here, a lot of times it's just dessert. It's not like the custardy flavored boxed pudding, or like from Jello, like the Jello company pudding that you can pick up at the store. That's normally not what they're talking about. Like, normally here when they're like, oh, I'll have a pudding, it's like dessert. It can be baked, boiled, but like, it's not just like this weird custardy, like chocolate or vanilla or pistachio or all these random weird flavors like we have in America. Let's see. Oh, like soda. We're like, we have in America different places call soda different things. Like some places it's soda pop, some coffee pot because we left our coffee maker in America. We didn't bring that with us because the outlets are different. So I was like, let's just get a new one. So we go to the store to pick up a coffee maker, and we ended up going to literally 4 different stores and couldn't find a coffee maker. I was like, why? Why is this like, I mean, I know that like the British Empire was founded on cups of tea, like to the point that they have tea kettles in like their military tanks and everything. But I didn't know that meant no coffee. I'm like, what? I have to have coffee in the morning or I am a bear, like, and I have creamer. Excuse my throat. I have creamer in my coffee. So what was even worse, apart from not being able to find a coffee maker, was that I couldn't find creamer here. Now, naive me, before we moved over, I said to my husband, what kind of things am I going to miss when I move? And he said, creamer. And I was like, no, y'all got creamer. Don't play with me. Everywhere has creamer. And he's like, no, we do not have creamer. And he was right. There is definitely 110% no liquid creamer. Since I've lived here 6 whole months, I've not had liquid creamer. Now they do have like, obviously, like this like whitener is what it's called, and it's powder, but not like the flavored stuff. Like you have to order that online, and I order cases of it from America so that I have it on hand, like Coffee Mate, and we also had to order our coffee maker online. I was like, overnight that, I need it. It was fine though. The other big thing for me was like, I moved to Florida from Illinois, and when I lived in Illinois, I lived in the country. I was born there and grew up there till I was about 17. And every like May, June, we would plant cucumbers, like seeds, and then we would make or can our cucumbers to make dill pickles. And I am such a huge dill pickle fan. Like, I can sit down and just eat a jar in one sitting. I love dill pickles. And I believe that's a much bigger thing in America than it is here, because I remember when I first kind of like talked to my husband about like my pickle obsession, I'll call it that. He was like, that's so gross. Like, even McDonald's pickles, we'd take them off and just flip them at the drive-thru window. Like, nasty. Nobody eats pickles here. And so I thought it was just him. But it's not. It's not that there aren't pickles here. It's just that every jar of pickles has sugar and mustard seed in them. And I remember introducing my husband to dill pickles in America, and he was like, okay, I get it now. Dill pickles are really nice. I love the sour, tart taste of them. They're so good. And then Wickles, he's in love with a Wickle pickle. If you haven't had a Wickles pickles and you like a little kick in your life, some spice, Wickles pickles are everything. I love them. Anyway, yeah. So I got him kind of hooked on pickles when he came over, and my mother-in-law, like my stepmother-in-law, when she came over to America, I did the same with her, and she's like, I love pickles now. But when I came here and I like tasted these sugary mustard seed pickles, I was like, no wonder why y'all hate them. They're so gross. Like, who put sugar in a pickle, dude? Like, no. So anyway, I had to go find an international food store or a Polish market to be able to find like an actual dill pickle here. It's very different. Like pies over here are most oftentimes savory, like cottage pies, steak and ale pies, mincemeat pies. Like they're not normally like sweet, and in America pies are sweet, like very much so. If we do like something that's like considered more of like a casserole, that's kind of what we call it, a casserole, which I've never heard that word here, but we do more of like the apple pie, peach pie, even like the lemon meringue pies, or like there's always like rhubarb, just fruity, sweet pie. Whereas over here it's all savory for the most part. I don't know that they do have apple pie. I have seen that here. Mostly in the freezer section. Sometimes in the bakery sections. Which the bakery sections in the UK are banging, my friends. Like, these guys know how to bake, I'll tell you that. And I've had so much fun over here baking random things that like my family over here has never tasted before, which is super fun. Let's see. Oh, the other thing. While the traffic says hello, somebody's mad. Sorry about that. The other thing about the supermarket was the shopping carts. The friggin' shopping carts, my friends. When we first got here, I was so excited about them. Shopping carts in the United Kingdom move from side to side. They also move forward and backward, but they also move from side to side. Shopping carts in America only go backward and forward. They do not move sideways. And at first, I thought this was the best thing ever. I was like, this is so cool. And I kept like flipping the cart around with the kids in it because they were having so much fun, like giggling and screaming down the aisles. Like we just moved here and everyone's gonna hate us, but we were having so much fun with it until you start putting groceries in it and it starts to get heavy and you're like, I can't control the steering and it's all over the place. I was like, this is nutso. So something that I thought was super fun and smart, it turns out I now absolutely hate. I'm like, give me a freaking basket. My husband's like, we've got more groceries than a basket full. I was like, then give me two. I hate the shopping carts here. I find them so frustrating. I'm dealing with it. But like, I hate that. Like, I can't control them very well. I'm like, I gotta lift weights just so I can push my shopping cart properly. Let's see. Oh, cartoons. Like, cartoon voices are different here than in America. Like, Paw Patrol, Bubble Guppies, Pika-Pika-Bees. What else? The voices are all like with British accents over here, and they sound so, it's so funny to hear like these posh dogs on Paw Patrol. Like, Chase is on the case. Ryder needs us. It's just too funny and really weird. It just sounds so weird to me. Yeah, and they sound so much more grown up. Even my husband is like, why do they sound like 30-year-olds instead of children? And I was like, I have no idea. He's like, I can't even watch this. You know, he's like, I don't love it. It's like, I don't know, babe. But the kids do, so that's all that matters. Another word that's different here. Ladybug and ladybird. A ladybug, for all you Americans, over here is ladybird. It took me a while to understand that, and I just thought somebody was having a slip of like the tongue or something when they're like, oh, it's a ladybird, and I'm like, yeah, ladybug, yeah, ladybird, and I'm like, okay, it's not a bird though, it's a bug. So we kind of went back and forth on that one for a minute, but yeah, over here swear it's a ladybird, not a ladybug. Oh my goodness. The one that really threw us off, and I've got a funny story to tell you, is fuel. In America, when you go to get gas, the gas tank for regular gas, which we use more of than diesel, is black. So when you get gas, it's regular fuel. When you drive a big old semi and you need diesel gas, it is the green pump. Not here. And that's what really threw us off. My husband calls me one day and says, because a lot of the vehicles here, side note, are diesel. Even the cars, like, that's just a thing here. Most cars are diesel fuel, not regular. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So my husband went to get gas and groceries, right? He takes the van and he calls me like an hour later and says, I'm gonna be late. I put the wrong gas in the car. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I did that. I feel so stupid. So now I've got to get the gas pumped out. And I'm like, okay. So I want to say it was like 5 hours later. He gets back to the house. He's like, it's just a whole mess. And he was so angry. So let's say 24 hours later, and like 200 or 300 pounds later, my husband gets diesel fuel into the van, and things are as they should be once again. And he goes to get groceries, comes back, starts throwing the bread loaf on the counter. He's mad, he's throwing things, and I'm like, what's wrong, are you okay? And he's like, I did it again. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I put the wrong gas in, which I thought was ironically kind of funny, because I was on the phone with my mom, and she's like, well, at least he won't do it again. And then he did it again, and he's like, I don't know what's going on with me. And I was like, where's your head at, pumpkin? Like, I wasn't mad. It seemed like an honest mistake, just not really one that you make twice, especially after you spend so much money to get it fixed. But when he said to me, like, he's like, I don't know what's wrong with me, I just keep picking up the green pump. And I'm like, well, that's right, that's diesel. And he's like, no, it's not. Diesel is black. And I was like, no, it's not. Diesel's green. That's right, you're putting the right gas in. Then he's like, no, I'm not, babe. So we Googled this. Diesel in the UK is a black pump. Regular gas is a green pump. And in America, it's reversed. So I was like, you shouldn't even be mad at yourself, because you just fixed a mistake that I probably would have made when I get my butt in a car and start driving over here finally, because I haven't. That's another story in itself. But yeah, I haven't ventured out to drive on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car yet, because our car is still in the shop, which brings me to the mechanics here that do not call you to give you updates. We have had our car in the shop for a month, actually more, but 2 different mechanics, and they've never once called us to give us an update. We always have to call them, and it's infuriating. Like, and I'm sure not every mechanic in this country is the same way. It's just, we're getting the really good ones. Yes, I'm being facetious, but like, it's just infuriating that, like, they don't give us an update. We have no idea what's going on, and then it's like we keep having to call, and it's like something else every time, and they're just so busy, and it's just, anyway, story for another time. But yeah, I was like, this would not happen in America. I say that, I'm sure it does all the time, but in my anger, I'm like, mechanics should be very fearful in the States. If you take a month to fix my car, I'm already like, let me talk to the money. Let me talk coats with their umbrellas. It's just very different. In America, when it rains, no one goes outside. You don't see us taking a walk. Nope. If it's cold, we don't go out. Everybody stays in. I'm probably speaking for where I come from, because obviously there are parts that are different. Everywhere is different. Tipping is not a thing here. You can, but it's not a thing. Like, it's not on the receipt to tip. If you order in groceries, you don't tip. They just bring them and drop them off. Again, you can, but I feel like in America, it's not really an option. Like, you tip. You should. 20%. 15-20% you should be tipping. Like, that's how it works. It's not like they here, but a lot of times like if you go to like a pub or something, there's not like a waitress. You just go up and order your own food. So there's that too. Let's see. Amazon is very different here. Like, we've got 1 million sellers on Amazon in America, so there's so much. Like, the market is super saturated on Amazon in America. You go on Amazon here and there's like only a few things to choose from. Like, there's not nearly as many sellers here in the UK. Amazon is a much smaller thing, which is probably really surprising for anyone from the UK, because they're probably like, oh, it's huge. It's nowhere near as big as it is in America. It's crazy. The different directions of the locks, and this could just be my house and my experience. The current house that I live in, when you turn the locks to lock them, they are turned sideways, horizontal, which anywhere that I've lived in America, locking a door meant vertical. It goes up and down. But right, so you go to lock the door, it's like, and it's vertical. Not here. Here, to lock the door, it's horizontal, which I think is so strange. It feels weird, and I always think the door is locked to the bathroom when it's not. Excuse my throat again. And so, like, my kids are forever walking in on me in the bathroom, which drives me nuts. Let's see. I feel like prices are different here for groceries. I feel like they're so much more affordable than they are in America. Like, groceries are ridiculous. To get like a ribeye steak in America, you're looking at $15 to $20. To get 2 ribeye steaks here, it's like £8 for 2. Big ribeye, mostly meat, not fat steaks. It's crazy. It's awesome, but it's very, very different than the States. House viewings, I think I've talked about this before, are different because the people who are selling the house a lot of times will be the people that are showing the house, which is so weird. Or they'll be home while the house is being shown, which is also very different. Most of the time when you look on their sites to like look at houses, the pictures aren't like staged by a real estate agent or anything. So like, they'll have like unclean toilets in the pictures. Just not everybody, but it's more than what you see in like America, in my head. But you also don't have to pay somebody $30,000 or $70,000 of your freaking earnings. Like, it's just crazy to sell a house in America. It's so expensive to get a real estate agent. That's just how I feel about it. You know the old saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Anyway, went off on a tangent. Again, I've got a lot of those happening in this current video. So the last thing that I have on my list that I'm gonna talk about is schools. My little one is getting ready to go to school in September, and I'm fairly certain that we will probably move for her to get, like, to go to, which I thought was really strange. Like, in America, I feel like wherever you live, the closest school to where you live is where you go to school. Like, you have to live in the same zip code of the school to go there, and it's not like, oh, we have too many people, so you have to go in the town over or something. Like, that's never been a thing. When I was growing up, that was never how it worked. Like, the only way that you could go to school outside of where you lived was like if you had a zip code of somebody that lived over there, and you pretended like your kid lived there in that zip code. But like here, it's like you gotta put in for your top 4 schools, because if you don't, they can put you anywhere that they want. And I'm like, I remember talking to my sister-in-law about this. I'm like, so they could put my daughter, in school like 45 minutes away, and she's like, yeah, totally. And I'm like, seriously? Like, if I don't put the top 4 schools that I want, like, that are close by, that I think are good schools, they could put her anywhere they want, like 30 minutes away. She's like, yep. And I'm like, that's crazy bananas. I don't know, that was surprising to me. Anyway, yeah, so it's like a lottery. Like, she asked me the other day when she came over, like, are you excited you get to find out where such and such is going to school in April? And I'm like, no, I still think it's weird, because we picked 4 schools that are close to this house, but we're probably not going to live here, so we're probably going to have to re-register it anyway, which I find strange that I had to do, like, almost a year in advance. But okay, like, I'm still learning. You know, this is all going to be really weird for me. Like, I'm pretty sure everywhere you go in this country, everybody wears a uniform to school, and we never wore uniforms anywhere that I went to school, or anywhere near I went to school, so it's just all going to be new to me. All of it is very new to me. I mean, I'm super open to it. I think it's fun just seeing the difference. Sometimes it's hard. I will say I've been in tears in this country more than once. I've missed home, missed my friends and family, but you know, we're getting through it, and it's so pretty here, and you know, it's got its ups and its downs just like anywhere. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed going through these differences with me. If there's things that you know of that are super different between our countries, let me know in the comments below. I find it so much fun to hear about the differences between countries. I know there's a lot. So anyway, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. I hope to see you again